once again as we're going to get it started. So we have to go through the stats really quickly. Jen versus Mr. E, lifetime 19-16 here in Jen's favor, 54% of a win rate. The last time these two played was actually 6 months ago in a Dave & Buster's called the Eon Revelation.
And it's worth pointing out as well, to these same statistics, while Jen holds the lifetime lead, it is actually Mr. E who has won the past 3 up against Jen as we start on Final Destination here in this losers quarterfinal set. We are starting off right at the ledge, which is honestly where both of these two want. It's why we're on FD. Both of these two want to pin down the amount of movement and the amount of pressure that either can give and just lock down a single position for stocks at a time. I
remember when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was just Lucina versus Palutena. Now we have Steve and Aegis and Sephiroth. Who knows that we went so far. We went so far away from lawful good here. But once again, these are the two captains of fundamentals to me. Honestly, Palutena is still that day one boss. You still need to be able to move with this character. We're going to see a little bit of a slower, more methodical set here, as now it is going to be Jen going for the temp test with the jab. I like that.
Yeah. Experimenting with a lot of jab as of late. It's a surprisingly big button. While you don't get the same reward off of it as some other characters do, like going jab grab or anything like that, you do get a relatively safe poke and a grounded option that Palutena sorely needs. Unfortunately, for Jen, it will be Mr. E taking that first stock in a battle of the city versus the island. Looking really good here in just this slow temperamental play right off the jump.
New Animal Crossing stage. City and island.
City and island.
Or island and city.
Yeah.
Island and city sounds better.
Nintendo, hire me.
Regardless, though, once again, looking really good for Mr. E right now. I feel like from both Gen sets that we've seen all day today, it's always looked really close in terms of the neutral, and then we look at the percents, and it's just a completely different story as Mr. E is going to be able to secure that second stock with the Nair.
Makes me wonder if it's Jen not being as self-assured when it comes to the extension that he can do. It's very much starter finisher, with the exception of the bread and butters that we've been seeing since 2019, the like Nair chains or things of those like. But it's like, all right, I'll do down throw fair. I'll do like landing fair, dash attack. 1-2, and we're done. And we'll go back to neutral, because that's where Jen is very, very comfortable, running up with that rapid jab, trying to close out this stock.
Ooh, I love the recovery from Mr. E as well, but Jen is going to be able to find the back throw. No question about it. Mr. E definitely going down to that second stock. There's no way. Still, though, now, I mean, this is a massive, massive lead for E, but if there's any stage that Palutena can really get that sustained damage, it's definitely this one, right? Yeah. We have no platforms to really get in the way, but Mr. E, once again, using those fly swatter fairs and the nairs to space out so well. It's so hard for Jen to get in. Jen, please do not SD.
Not again.
Not again, please, man.
I just want a nice, solid finish to one of these.
Clean set.
Yeah. No mistakes ever. Clean set. Finishing your food here is ideally Mr. Easy. Goes for another grab. Great reaction and anticipation with this roll, setting up so many things to worry about with these fairs, with these nairs, and then add grabs on top of that. He is dominating the pacing and showing off that back air to cleanly take game number 1. Low percent 2 stock and looking no worse for wear.
Team Fundies.
Team Fundies.
Team Fundies.
Fundies.
Do you think we're going to go back to FD? Do you think we're going to go somewhere different? Yo, Jen definitely sipping on a beverage from the bar right now.
He is
Goat.
Considering where to go as we are heading to Hollow Bastion. And I don't hate it. It's really hard to counterpick Lucina, because typically you would think, oh, I want to remove platforms so it's harder for her to anti-air me, make it so that Lucina is a little bit more punished when she goes into the air, because Lucina can be really floaty. But FD didn't really work out all that well, so at this point you're just looking to try and extend your own advantage and have more utility in center stage, which something like a Smashville platform, or in this case a Hollow Bastion platform, does very well.
Smashville's like your ex that you still can't stop thinking about.
Sorry,
it's
bro.
like, man, I miss you.
God, I miss her.
It's the Wolverine picture with Smashville in the center. It's like, man. And then it's the horse picture, man. Still, though, really good start coming out from Jen here, as I am ruining Oopal's professionalism
it's
live.
So hard.
But once again, looking pretty good right now. Jen just needs to figure out a way that we just need to get back into this. A really nice place back air is going to be the start of it here, but unable to find the second one, which allows for Mr. E to get back into center stage at this point. Still jab one, but nothing else here, as now Mr. E has done a great job of closing the gap, but it will be Jen actually going for the up throw mix up there, as Mr. E once again threading the needle so effortlessly, getting that first stock.
Yeah, those are big edge guards that you really need to look out for in any sort of matchup like Palutena or Lucina, or even characters like Wolf, as we saw prior. Like, they're at their weakest at the startup of their recovery. So while it's safer to hold the ledge trap like both of these two did in the previous game, Mr. E is fully aware that to take reliable stocks against Palutena sometimes, he's got to get out there and throw out some of these big forward airs and big back airs closer to the blast zone.
Yeah, now Jen really kind of struggling here on the ledge. Needs to find a way to bring it back. There's the F tilt going for the Nair pickup, but it's not going to be enough. Jen going to be able to respond with a dash attack out of the corner, but we're not able to find anything else just yet. I mean, the neutral is now going very much in Mr. E's favor, but I mean, in the beginning of the set, it really was going stock for stock.
Yeah, it was a lot of tit for tat, a lot of nickel and diming from both sides, but this has just been Jen looking to establish his feet on the ground, and Mr. E going for things like grabs or pivot cancel forward tilts to consume that space so quickly and swat Jen right back off stage. Finally, a little bit of an opening into that Nair back air, but again, it's just like these two-piece combos and then reset into this prolonged advantage, yet the spot dodge into the up tilt, closing down that stock, having an instantly accessible killing tilt is just so important for a character that loves to anti-air.
This is what I wanted to see a little bit more of, these parry punishes coming out from Jen here. Saw the parry punish into the Nair here. We get a little cute there with the grab, and now it's all about Jen. Can you take this stock? Going to be able to get a little bit of a slower version of the tri-stage twister.
Yeah, that 100 and he mashed out of that. What a god.
That is seasoned mashing there from Smash 4 and Brawl and wherever else Mr. E has played. Okay, like the down air, there it is, going to lead into the back air. We are going into final stock. That was one way to get back into it, Ubel.
Yeah, getting a down air through the platform, missing the initial hit. I think the up air was a true follow-up at that point, but you read the air dodge, you find the back air, you're no worse for wear, and you're able to find that damage instantly at 42 because of the lockdown in the corner. But Mr. E still swinging, looking for that same down air 3 times over. First time it worked successfully, second time it traded, third time Mr. E parried it. Might want to hold back on some of these random down airs.
Okay, now Mr. E going to be in the driver's seat on the edge guard, but beautifully placed forward air into the first up air, unable to find the second though. If it's one thing that I have to say that I haven't seen from Jen this set, it's going to be the second game, but I have to say we haven't been able to see the Palutena pain train, as I like to call it. Nair, Nair, up air, Nair, fair, you know, these very long, drawn out metaphorical combos. We're really just not seeing it, and we're really only getting some of these just kind of whiff punishes. We're finding ways out, but we're not finding ways to sustain our kind of momentum in advantage. Yeah. It's always just been Mr. E, just, you know, fly swatting away, nairing from ledge. We're going back to Hollow Bastion here, and kind of what an interesting way to go about it, as Mr. E up 2-0.
Yeah, it's been very much the stop and start type of game plan from Jen, and type of gameplay rather. I'm sure he would love in order to get a lot of these big open combos. Like the game plan is to start these big combos, to go for these juggles, to punish Mr. E where Lucina is at her weakest, which is kind of when she's left stranded in midair, but just unable to find any sort of opener that she would love to really exploit, and instead it's Mr. E able to cut right through a lot of these approaches from Jen.
Yeah, things are looking really, really good right now from Mr. E. Once again, just always constantly having an answer for everything that Jen wants to throw out. Here's the down throw, unable to get the read there, but still we're going to keep it moving. Great air dodge out from Mr. E. Gets the footstool, and that's going to be one way to start this game.
So you know I was saying a little bit earlier how going deep off stage against characters like Lucina, who can be really hard to interact with at her approach to ledge, but if you pressure it a little bit deeper as the up smash goes out the stock, those are the opportunities that you really want to exploit. Well, the counterplay to that is, of course, reversals, and reversal options go no better than a nice and simple footstool. 2 stocks have gone through my explanations, and Mr. E is looking in control, as he has been throughout basically every set we have seen on stream.
Mr. E also moving in the camera too, really feeling the gameplay as well. The dolphin slash, a little bit of a cancel into the side B. All right, Mr. E getting very, very kind of tricky with it here. Good punish on the dash attack with the nair here, as now Jen has to find an answer. It's not impossible. We've seen a comeback just as hard as this, but once again, Mr. E has been playing flawlessly. The character is just telling you no. Every time you land in, you get punished. Ooble, it's so difficult. But it will be the backer that does once again send Mr. E into advantage off stage. Gets a grab. Another forward throw is going to be the pick here. 128 on Palutena. The up tilt not going to be able to do it. And Mr. E sharking for an aerial off stage. But Jen will be able to stabilize for a moment.
That a brief moment that he's trying to extend with the follow-up off of the down air, just looking for anything that could close out a stock here, making those big plays, because they're plays you have to make. An up smash on ledge against Dolphin Slash, a 2-frame that is particularly pretty hard to hit, but you need something there. You need anything there. And unfortunately for Jen, nothing was coming, and Mr. E finishing off game number 3 with a 3-0 simple handshake, take it to the bank, and put himself in loser semis.
Yeah, looking really, really good. If I'm Mr. E, I'm happy about that performance, right? Really, really effortless play here. I mean, the guy was spacing so super well. It's kind of unfortunate, though, because I feel like we really didn't get to see Jen's advantage shine. We didn't really see like those amazing kind of crazy combos. We saw some good counterplay to certain options, like the back throws were okay, but it was really just kind of whenever Jen wanted to do something, Mr. E had an answer. And honestly, really good stuff from Mr. E, but shout outs to Jen too. You still get a piece of that pot.
Game 2 is where Jen looked his best.
Sure.
For sure. Like, we saw the utilization of the counter pick with these down airs on the platform. We saw the added mix-ups when it comes to getting back to stage. Like, the last stock of game number 2 was a teleport mix-up where Jen started out above the platform but then held down to fall through it. So you get a high-low mix-up there, whether or not Mr. E can reliably punish, can commit to a punish either on the platform or off of it. But Mr. E just had all of the information to consistently punish Jen's options, whether it be on ledge, in disadvantage, in neutral, just poking, prodding, and opening up Jen with no problems whatsoever. And that is going to seal the 3-0 and seal Mr. E into top 4, waiting upon his opponent.